All right. I am just going to do a quick check and make sure that everything is working the way that it's supposed to work. If you are in the Hangout page and you're seeing this, I would appreciate it if you could just, click and give me a little shout out that you can see me, that everything is working properly. I would really, really, really appreciate it. And I am going to give myself about just a couple more seconds and just make sure that everything is working. So the Hangout page seems to be working well. And let me just stop that. That's working really well. Awesome. Let me just click out of that. And all right. Well, I feel like I can get started. I like being punctual, being a time management and time freedom expert here. There's the clock. I really do love and have a very profound appreciation for being on time. So let's get started. I have something that I want to share with you, something that happened this morning. So I was reading one of my favorite books. It's something that I go back to once in a while, and I just feel like I have this desire. There's something in it that will elevate me in one way or another. And I hope that you do have works like that that really, really do bring you to a higher consciousness and really help you to connect with the truth, with who you are. And for me, that is the work by Byron Katie. And the book is called Loving What Is. It is such an amazing book. And this morning I was reading it and I ran across a quote that really shifted a little bit of what I was going to talk about today, because I know that the topic that we're going to be discussing is going from flow to momentum, right? And then I ran across a quote by Byron Katie that said, small stories breed bigger stories. Bigger stories breed major theories about life. And we don't realize that they are just theories. So that is a little bit of the other side, I feel, of what I want to talk about today. However, it's just as important, The thing about flow is that it can really go either way. It can go up, which is what we want, right? We want the success. We want our launches to work. We want our business to be where we want it to be. We want to make more income. We want to have a lifestyle business that really works for us, right? The way that we want. And it can also spiral downwards, right? Spiral. And every thought, every action, every step that you take can go in either direction. In business, a downward flow can lead to catastrophic consequences. And it may not even feel like it, because like we were just saying, right? It's flow to momentum, right? The flow could be that one action that you take, that one thought, right? That one tiny step that you take that could be taking you in another direction, right? Action in the wrong direction can be catastrophic. And the problem that I have found in business is that you don't know, right? Everybody is always talking about that, right? And yet you have to know where you're going so that you know that you're going to get to the place that you want to be. And I feel like a lot of the time it's like a lot of wishing and hoping, right? You're doing things on your own. You're trying to make things work. You're working really hard. And this is exactly the place that I was in. And just a year ago, I would say a little bit over like a year and a half ago, where I was just working 80-hour weeks nonstop. And I'm like, this has to work. This has to work. Maybe if I work harder, right? If I work harder, maybe it will work. If I do more, if I stay up until like 2 a.m, maybe it will, something magical will happen. And I was not seeing, did I have clients? Yeah, sure. But was I seeing the results that I wanted, right? Was I living the life that I really wanted to live? Did I have time freedom? No, I didn't. No, I didn't, because I was taking action in the wrong direction, right? I wasn't going in the direction that I wanted to go. So this call is definitely from flow to momentum, but we want to know exactly, right? Like the place where you need to take action, right? Where is it that you need to start taking action? What is that step? What is that next step that we need to take that is going to bring me to that momentum in my business to have those things that I really want, right? And in launches, this is so important. It is majorly important. When you don't have the right plan, and you're not going in the right direction with the right intention. I set my intention before this call, right? Because I know where I'm going. I know where I'm going, and I am going to set that intention. But if you don't have that plan with that right intention, it leaves you exhausted, because all you're doing is trying to figure it out. You're trying to, like I said, work harder and trying to see, is this going to work? You're trying a lot of things out, and you really don't know what is going to work. However, to lighten it up a little bit, because I know that I went really deep really quickly, because I really want to grab your attention. This is so important. It's so important that you start seeing where you are and where it is that you want to go in your business. The reverse is also true. Okay, when you have the clarity and you have the simple plan, simple keyword, simple plan that works in a structure, right? You can turn that small action, that small step that you take into flow. And that flow, once things start moving in that direction, it can lead to major momentum. And momentum leads into success. All right? So today, what we're going to talk about is the 3 common mistakes that women entrepreneurs make that keep them working way too hard and receiving way too little money, prosperity, fulfillment, success, right? Family time, whatever you want, those things are available for you. And if you avoid these 3 major mistakes, it will make it a lot easier. You can go from flow to momentum very, very quickly. And I'm going to tell you, not to make this so general, I'm actually going to go into how exactly you can use these 3 common mistakes in a launch, right? Like, how does that work for your launch? Because that's what you're here for, right? You're here to find out, hey, how can I make this work for me? How can I actually use this in my own business so that I get those things that I do want, the things that are most valuable for me, the lifestyle business, the desires, and all that stuff. Okay? So it's about creating the time freedom, the lifestyle business, no more burning out, no more working until 1 a.m., no more getting 5 hours of sleep for, 3, 4, 5, 7 nights in a row, right? I know, I've been there. Not spending enough time with your loved ones, the people that you're doing this for them. You're doing this so that you can actually have the life that you want, right? To actually start living the life that you want with the people that you want, right? The people that you actually do want around me. So when was the last time that you actually spent all day without having to worry about your business for 1 second? I mean, worry, not thinking. Thinking, no, because I call it the lifestyle business for a reason, right? I live my lifestyle business. I'm always constantly thinking about my business. I love my business. However, I'm not worrying about it, right? And there's a huge difference, right? The energy is completely on the other side of the spectrum, right? So You can actually start taking the long baths, so the glorious long baths, or going to the spa, or spending time with your loved ones, or doing all the things that you really, really, really want to do. No more fluctuations in your income. No more ups and downs. No more making whatever amount, like really high amount of money, and then making zero, and then making a high lot of money and then zero, right? This system will help you bring consistency. Consistency is so exciting. It's such a turn on word for me at this point, because I feel that it's one of those things that, you know, everybody talks about it, but nobody really wants to do the work for it because they feel like it's going to be hard, right? That's what I thought. And that's why I ended up working 80-hour weeks all the time. Now, I know the difference. I know that it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be a lot of work for me to actually have that consistency. So I want to share with you who is doing this now, right? Who is actually implementing this and getting amazing results. I have my client, Alexia. She just signed up a little while ago, and she went from thinking, oh, well, you know, I'm going to charge like this much, and I'm going to be working this much with my client. And now she went to like thinking that $50,000 is too little money for what she's going to do for her client. And that was just in one session that we had together. And then I have my client, Rebecca, that now I feel like she created a whole new business from an idea that we got out of, you know, working together in a session that we were doing. And she is now seeing this business finally being able to fund her lifestyle. In fact, she's in Mexico right now and having a blast down there. We just had a call about a couple hours ago, and it's finally becoming possible. She was just telling me in a session before, it's finally becoming possible, the lifestyle that I want, right? And then I have my client, Andrea, that did not have a clue what she was doing. And now, you know, in terms of, you know, what she was going to focus on. And now she has a whole plan, and she has mapped out not only part of the launch, like she's kicking ass, I have to say, but she also has the idea for her entire program, and it's so rock solid. All right, like I was sold, and I'm not even her ideal client, when she was telling me what she was going to be saying in her videos to tell her clients, you know, to invite her clients into working with her. And I'm telling you, I'm not even her ideal client. And I was like, I would sign up like in a second. I know that you will help me, even though I'm not a mom, right? So I have a few questions for you, because I want you to start thinking about this and everything that I'm going to be sharing with you, not in terms of, you know, will this work for me or will this not work for me, right? That's a very, very limiting question that you could be asking yourself. There's so much more expansion. So I really want you to start thinking about your business and how this will work for you. So have you tried to launch before? Have you actually put together a launch, a structured launch before? What happened during this launch? Okay. Do you recall, was it a painful experience? I had a lot of painful experiences at the beginning of my business. Did you get, where did you get stopped? Did you get stopped anywhere? What kind of results did you get? Right? What kind of results did you really want to get? What were you going for? And did it happen? Did it not happen? And if you haven't yet, why haven't you launched? Okay, are you a beginner and you're feeling like, well, I have no idea what to do, right? I just know that I have this product, and I know that I have this service, and I know that I can help a lot of people, but I really don't know how, and I don't know how to get myself out there in front of the right people. Is that what is holding you back? Okay? And is it perhaps that, you know, you don't want to put yourself out there? Like, is it a vulnerability thing that you're feeling, well, you know, That's really visible. I'm really going to be putting, and I know because our businesses are everything in us, right? And you're going to be thinking, wow, I'm going to be putting all of me out there in a really big, vulnerable way. And I don't know how I feel about that yet. Okay. And now I want to ask you the 2 questions that I feel will be the most transformational. If you really allow this, if you actually step into this, like what I'm going to be sharing with you today, this could be the most transformational for you. How many more people could you be helping if you had a structured launch? Okay. How much more money, how much more income could you be making? Right? If you're taking notes, I would suggest that you actually write those down. And you just make a note, I could probably be making this much money a month, right? Because it's about consistency. It's not about, just bringing in a large lump and that's it, right? I could be making this much a month and feeling ecstatic, and I could be living wherever the hell I want, right? That's always the exciting thing for me. So I want you to think about those things, and I want you to keep that in mind as we go through this call, because it's going to be a little bit of the driving force. You definitely want to understand that this is available and much more is available when you have a way of putting it together that actually is tested and proven, that works for you. Okay, so by the end of this call, I'm going to invite you to have a private chat with me, because I want to be able to also support you, not only with the content that I'm going to be sharing with you today, but I want to support you in answering these questions and having so much clarity and understanding so specifically how this will work for your business, because your business is different, right? You have a very, very specific business with very specific needs. So in order for me to be able to address that, I want to definitely invite you into a private call. So I will do that at the end. So if you are interested in finding out how the launch will work for you after you hear everything that I have to say, you don't have to decide now, right? After you hear what I have to say, if that interests you, then I will give you an invitation, a very special invitation with a couple of incentives if you decide to join us for TFS that's starting very soon. Okay, so that said, I am going to start with the first piece, which is the biggest reason that people stay stuck, that they keep working way too hard and receiving way too little, especially women, okay? And that is clarity. Oh yeah, that's the biggest reason for procrastination. We don't know what we want, all right? We want everything and we want nothing. And I feel like a lot of the times, the fact, this comes into launches also because we start working and we have an idea, yet the launch is not very clear, right? The product that you're putting out there is not very clear. The reasons that you're giving people to sign up for your call are not very clear. They're not centered around the main reason that you are, the main result that people will be getting by joining you. So today in this call, right, I advertised and I told you, if you come here, you're going to find not only the 3 common mistakes that keep people working way too hard and receiving too little, but I'm going to share with you my launch. And that is the main juicy thing that we're going to be talking about today. So those are major, clear reasons that people will be interested in my work. What is it for you? Did you have that piece of clarity? Okay. Did you understand exactly what it was that you were delivering? Did you know how to put the launch in place? Was it very clear from one step to the next, to the next, to the next? Did it flow? Okay. Did it have a sense of flow and clarity, right? Did it lead to the momentum until the end? Okay. Extremely essential, I have to tell you. Okay. Crystal clarity is the biggest problem that I feel like women stay in the same place for years at a time, right? And also because this is another piece of clarity that's coming from another end, but it's very, very, very related. I feel like a woman like you, perhaps you know, you come to a call like this and you get some information and you say, oh, I'm going to do it myself. Okay. And that never really works out the way that you want. I know, because I've been there, and I'm not judging in any way. I was in the same exact spot, girl. I have to tell you. And I was there for a long time, and I decided to stay in that place because I thought that I could do it by myself. I wasn't clear. I wasn't clear with what I wanted. My intention, what I had inside of me, wasn't very clear. I just wanted it to work, right? So all of that put together within a launch, it just created disaster and created a bunch of years, like I'm telling you, like 2 years of trial and error that led to almost nothing, right? Nowhere. I wasn't going anywhere with my business. I wasn't moving. I wasn't serving more people. The thing that I'm here to do, which is to provide my service, to be able to help women live better lives, like live the lives of their dreams. I wasn't able to do it. I wasn't able to do it because I wasn't clear with my intention when I was actually putting together my launches. Okay. And in my life as well, like, it happens one place, it happens everywhere, right? As you said it. And people are, it's very easy to see across the board and how that was translating in all other aspects of my life and my business, right? So that is essential. Clarity is the first piece that you need to start looking at if you want to start bringing more if you really want to stop the procrastination, I feel, essentially, if you really want to stop with like months and months and months going by, one of the main things that clarity does within the launch system, or at least the way that we do it here, and I do TFS, which is a time freedom sequence, is that it's so clear from step 1 to step 10 that you know exactly what to do every step of the way. But when you don't have that level of clarity and you don't know exactly what you're doing step by step, I thought that was funny. You lose the flow. You lose the flow. There's no flow, right? And then it can't lead to momentum because there's nothing there. There's nothing there that's guiding the process, right? The clarity is lost in the messaging. Perhaps it's lost from step to step. Like, you really are not putting things in a sequence that actually leads to your outcome. It's going in that direction and you want to go that way. It just doesn't work, and it creates chaos. And because of that, procrastination, because then you end up, not knowing what to do, and then the next launch is not going to be good either, and then you start doubting yourself, and then you lose a lot of time within those, I don't like thinking about failure, but the mistakes that you make in business, you actually take it very personally because they are yours. Like, they're your business is you, right? So it feels very personal. It shouldn't be, you shouldn't really attach to those things because nothing good can come of it, right? Instead of that, really don't like simplifying it to this and making it so common, so to speak, but dusting yourself off and just doing it all over again. And if you were able to do that, then it would be able to get better. But clarity is definitely one of those things that can get in the way and can cause a lot of delays. So procrastination in terms of delays, essentially, in the success that you're seeking, in the lifestyle that you're looking for, in the time freedom that you are desiring right now, the thing that you started your business for. That's what it's doing. It's putting a lot of time between you and the desired outcome that you had. Okay, so in order to move past this piece of clarity, right? I feel like the main thing that you need to do is just to really be honest. Be honest with yourself. And this one, I want to be very conscious of it, and I want to be very gentle with you about it, because I understand, I really do. I've been there, and I did take it personally, and I did think that I could do it by myself, and sometimes I still feel like I go back into those patterns very shortly and then get myself out. And I do get it. So I've been there, I've been exactly where you are, and my question to you is this working for you? Is it working? Okay? The clarity piece can be very clear once you're honest with yourself. If you're able to be honest with yourself and you can see that you need support, that your launches are just not going to magically start working from one day to the next, right? That your business is not going to just start attracting a bunch of clients just out of nowhere, that you actually need to understand how to make it work the way that it needs to work, and create that flow, right? Start taking actions in the direction of the flow to your success rather than the other way, right? Because as we talked about, the flow goes up or it goes down, right? If you're taking action in the wrong direction, it's going to keep taking you away from where it is that you want to go. So if you're honest with yourself and you're able to say, yes, I do need help, yes, I don't know how to do this, then you are able to make like anything that you want, you can get out of that, because you're able to open that space that you haven't been able to open before, because you haven't been able to say, yes, I would like some help, right? So when you're actually able to open it up and say to yourself, yes, I want this, I need this, then the opportunity becomes available to you. So that is my biggest tip that I have for you when it comes to clarity. Just be honest. Be honest about where you are. Be honest about where it is that you want to go, and be honest about the results that you're getting. Okay? If it's something that you feel like you need support with, then seek out that support. You know, if it's with launches, you can reach out to me. If it's with emotional support, you know, or even something else in your life that's not working, that's actually affecting the success that you're having in your business, then, you know, you need to see what's actually, what the clarity piece, like where is it that it's interfering with your business. Okay? So let's go into data point number 2. So we just went over number 3, which was clarity, crystal clarity. And then we're going to go into charging your worth. Juicy. I love this topic. It's just so awesome, because it's one of those things where women have so much resistance about asking for what it is that they actually require. And this comes from, you know, years and years and years of supporting women with this in, you know, a professional capacity and non-professional capacity. I've always been a very good listener. And it's like we feel like it's going to magically show up, right? Almost to a certain extent, and without asking, it's just going to show up. I call this, my favorite term for this is the knight in shining armor syndrome, right? They're going to come, something is going to fall out of the sky, and it's going to come and rescue you, right? It's going to just show up. It's going to show up without you actually taking action. It's going to show up without you actually putting the structures and the systems in place. So in terms of charging what you're worth, you can see in business how this is so relevant, right? It's not only about asking for what you require, but also charging for it in business, because that's what it's relevant to. This is the biggest piece that keeps women stuck when it comes to working dollars per hours, right? They're still charging per hour. And it's actually holding them back in a huge way, because it's not supporting them, and it's not supporting their clients the way that they could be supported if they actually have packages and services that are more long-term, that could create lasting change. I feel like most of the time, especially with holistic or counseling type of services and consulting type of services, there has to be like a structure, right? And that structure actually is what creates the result. And that's why the launch system also works so well, because if you have a launch system that works, then you always know the structure, right? And that structure is what supports you in getting those results. And in order to be able to do that, obviously you need to charge more, right? You need to be able to charge what it is that result is worth, not what other people are charging for it, right? Not what you think you should charge per hour. Remember, we're not thinking about per hour anymore. We're thinking about what are the results and what is it that I'm going to charge for it, right? And what is that result worth to that individual? And why am I saying it that way? Because when someone is going to value what they are paying for it, I feel. And that has been the case for me. And if it's not the case for you, congrats. But I have found that people really value what they pay for. They really value the things that they invest in. And it doesn't have to just be monetary, right? It doesn't have to just be financial, but it can also be in time. It can also be in, energy. It can be in love, right? What you invest in, those are the things that you care about, right? Otherwise, then why are you doing it? Correct? I'm hoping I'm keeping everybody here, right? And it's essential that you understand what that result is, and that if those people are getting, if they're making $20,000 with the investment that they made with you, and they're going to start bringing $20,000 clients in, then you can potentially charge $20,000 or even more, because you're giving them consistency with that. So what is it worth to them, right? Is it the lifetime? I mean, you have to think about it as a business owner, not as someone playing business or someone that's just considering this. Thinking about it as a business owner, it's an investment, right? When you're investing in your business, then you are always thinking about, what is this going to do? What is the conversion that this is going to have for me? And actually, conversion is one of the things that we touch on TFS. It's like, not touch. We have an entire module on it that actually covers everything, like how to understand your business really and how to keep tracking of everything, right? So you need to understand, like, is it the lifetime value? Like, what are you charging based on, right? Are you charging based on other people, on their beliefs of what you should be charging? Or are you charging on what you actually could be charging based on the results? What is the lifetime value that those people are going to get out of the work that they're going to do with you? And one of the reasons that I'm talking about the lifetime value is because it's not just now. Once they learn what you have to teach, right, then they can actually use that and implement it to take them to whatever heights. Like when I teach someone to do a launch, like to create a launch for themselves, and they know how to do this, they can make $20,000 a month, they can make $50,000 a month, they can make whatever amount of money they want per launch, right? So you have to think about what is the value that they're going to be getting lifetime, and then charge appropriately, right? And I feel like the main reason that women get stopped is because of, issues with self-worth, unfortunately. And it's about not really, believing that they're, worth that much, or that they could get that much. And all of that is just affecting, their confidence, like, and being able to just confidently go out and say, well, my service is, my highest program is $10,000, right? And that is my highest program, is $10,000. So I can very confidently go to someone and just tell them, well, if you're interested in my highest program, which involves this and this and this and this, that is $10,000, and then I lovingly receive that amount, and I lovingly support them in creating the lifestyle and the business that they desire, right? So it's very interesting, I feel, that we have so many issues with being able to charge what we're worth because of issues that we've had with, our own experiences and being able to just ask for the money without putting so much attachment to it. So there's like a lot of emotions and a lot of stories that go around. We talked about the stories at the beginning, right? That quote that I read to you at the very, very beginning was by Baron Katie, and it's all about stories, right? Small stories breed bigger stories, major theories, right? And you don't realize that they're just theories, right? We have a lot of theories and a lot of stories about money, right? Like, what does it mean? If I am charging $10,000, what does that mean about me, right? If I'm charging, $5,000, or if I'm charging $50,000, or if I'm charging $100,000, what does that mean about me? What does that say? Does that mean that I'm selfish? Does that mean that I am stuck up, or whatever the story is? And it can really hold you back. It really, really, really keeps you back. And it also keeps your launches from working. And it works in two ways, I feel. The first one is that, sometimes based on what the product is, people may not take you very seriously if you're not charging the amount that it's actually worth. I know myself that sometimes I'm looking at something, and if it's not expensive enough, and it's not the money, I feel like it's the value that I will get out of it. Because I always tell my prospects, people that are interested in working with me in doing TFS or private coaching, I always tell them, say yes to you, right? It's an investment in you. You invest in yourself by working with me. I am the guide. I'm not the investment, right? You're not investing in me. You're not investing in my business. All I'm here to do is to support you in bringing out your highest potential, right? Like what you feel you can actually do, but you just don't know how to get from A to B, right? From where you are right now with your launches, with your business, to creating the lifestyle business with the time freedom and all that stuff that you actually desire. I just help you get from A to B, right? It's not about me. It's about you, right? And then it's in undercharging. So, right? So when you're undercharging, even if you are getting a lot of people interested, there's a few things that happen. Like either people don't value it enough so that they're not getting amazing results out of it just because it's too inexpensive, right? People don't invest as much time and energy into something that they haven't spent a lot of money in. It's been my experience, and there's exceptions to that. I mean, there's been some meditation courses and things like that I've taken that haven't really taken a lot of money, but I've actually invested time and energy in because I was getting something out of it. But a lot of the times when it comes to this industry, when it comes to coaching and it comes to living the way that you want to live and business and having development in that way, those things, the value that you pay for it is the investment in energy and time that you're actually putting in it, right? So a lot of the times people are just not paying attention. They're just not honoring it. They're just not using it. And then that leads to other issues with the business, because that means that people are not really, investing. They're not really sharing it with other people because they're not doing the work. So they could have bought it because perhaps your marketing was excellent, and you have a really good message and really good mission in life, and people were inspired by your story, etc. But did they actually implement it? Did they actually put it in place? And do you have a system that is going to really give them value, and help them actually share what they've learned with other people, right? So my hope in sharing something like this event, and actually connecting with you in this way, and sharing my story and sharing about how the launch is so essential, is that you also take that with you and then you share it with someone else, right? That you tell them, hey, I know that you were complaining about your launch. I know that you were, working until all the hours of the night, and this woman, she knows how to do it easier, right? Like, she knows how to make it work, and you create more time freedom, right? You have more time for yourself, and you can go and do the things that you want to do with your family, with your friends, etc., right? That's my hope, and that's what happens when you're actually charging your worth, right? And you're actually delivering. Obviously, like, there's the other aspect of it is a delivery. It has to be exactly what it is that you said that it's going to be. Otherwise, the product falls flat anyways, right? But if you have a really amazing product and you're not charging your worth because you have issues with receiving the money, then you're really doing a great disservice, because people are not sharing it, people are not getting results, and you're not going to be able to help as many people, and you're not going to be able to help yourself, right? So this is another reason why women keep working way too hard, right? They keep working until all hours because they're still trying to make, like, instead of making 5 sales, they have to make 20 sales to make the same income. And there's a huge difference there in the energy and like how much is taken out of you, right? I know that when I invite you today into a conversation with me, I'm going to tell you there's a limited amount of spots because I protect my energy very dearly. I want to make sure that I am at the highest place when I am working with you, right? And the only way that I can do that is by being able to support my energy, right? And being able to say, well, I want to do this many because this is as many as it's going to be excellent for me to be able to deliver the best possible information, the best service that I can, right? And that is where this is affecting the effectiveness of their launches, right? I hope that makes sense. So let me just take a quick sip of my smoothie. All right. Now, where were we? So what can you do? What can you do about charging your worth, right? And being able to really see how this is like all the leaks that you have in your time and in your services, how can you actually start seeing, where can you plug it with clarity by being really honest with yourself? And then in this step, how can you start charging your worth, right? How can you do this? I have just a couple tips for it. The first one is you have to decide that you're worth it, all right? You have to decide that you're here to live a bigger life, right? That you're here to support even more people. And if you have issues with thinking that, oh my God, this is so selfish, and I shouldn't want this, and I shouldn't desire this and that, believe me, we all have thoughts like that. However, it's what you do with those thoughts, okay? You have to believe what the truth is. And the truth is that that's not true, because if you don't make that income, then you can't help more people. Like, you can't help more people. You can't help people help other people, right? Every single one, especially if you're working with people that help others, right? And that they are in the service industry and things like that, which I feel like, many of you may be. If that's the case, if that's not the case, then it's fine. We all, we create an impact in the world by actually being able to support others, right? In the highest possible way. That's one of the things that we went into in this step, is that if you are not able to support them all the way and actually help them create that breakthrough, then it's going to be really, really difficult for you to actually have them, you know, like have that transformation that they desired by working with you. And then they're not going to be able to support other people in whatever way, whether it's in their families, in their environments, or with clients, or whatever it is, right? So you have to decide that you're worth it and start making decisions in that direction, right? So start thinking about, you know, how can I prove to myself? How can I show to myself that I'm worth it? Okay. And start thinking about your prices. Yes, I'm going to challenge you here. Okay, start thinking about your prices and start thinking about what are the real results. Like, what is it that they are actually getting? Okay, and what is it that this is worth to your ideal clients, right? The people that you're already serving, or people that have been interested in your work. What is it that they are, what is it that they will get out of it? Like, what is the potential that your product or service has to transform their life? And I know that some of you may be thinking, well, but people have a hard enough time charging what, you know, charging or getting their head around what I'm already charging. So if I raise it, won't that create a problem? No, we already talked about this, remember? Yes, we talked about this. We actually went into the fact that people just don't value it. All right. So a lot of the time, some people may not even be buying from you, like the actually really good clients, the ones that will really be so awesome to work with. Those people, the ones that never complain, that they're always on time, that they're just so excited to get on the phone with you, that they get so many results, result after result, transformation after transformation, because they invested. They were all in when they actually started working with you, because you decided to charge what you were worth. Okay? When they put themselves all in the game because they paid a premium price, then they actually said, no more excuses, no more pretenses. I am going to do this, and I'm going to do this right now. And that's how you create fans. That's how you create raving clients, right? People that will, you know, trust you and love you, and, you know, and just cheer you on, like it, seriously. And they refer people to you. I have some clients, you know, just continue to refer to me because I have given them such a transformation in their life. So deciding to charge what you're worth is not just about you either, right? So if you're starting to think about, oh my God, this is so selfish and I'm just thinking about myself. No, it's not about you, really. It's about them, okay? It's about them and what they will be able to receive out of this, okay? So that's it for my tips. Now, the number one reason that women stay stuck, and the number one mistake that keeps them working way, way, way too hard and receiving way too little is time freedom. Oh yeah. And the way that I think about time freedom, just to define it a little bit for you, is, you know, we have businesses. Obviously, if you're on this call, I'm assuming you have a business, and that you are right now in a space where you're overwhelmed. You may be overwhelmed. You may be feeling, you know, like things are not working, and, you know, there's just too many things on your to-do list. I call it the never-ending to-do list that just never stops. It just, things keep piling on, and you just going from one fire to the next fire, putting them out, and you are not feeling any level of fulfillment in your own life, and you're not receiving any sort of, you're just not feeling happy. You're not feeling happy. You're not feeling fulfilled. You're not living a lifestyle business that works for you. If you're doing all of those things, pretty much you're stuck. And you're stuck in a rut by having created a JOB for yourself, right? The thing that you were trying to escape when you were in corporate. And or working whatever job you were working before. And now you're just like, is this what I signed up for, right? I had those thoughts in my head like a year and a half ago. Oh my God, like, is this what I signed up for? Is this that thing that I said yes to? Working 80 hours until all hours of the night, not getting enough sleep, not feeling good, you know, messing up my health, or whatever it is that this is causing in your life. And I know that it causes a lot. It causes a lot of havoc, a lot of issues, a lot of problems, especially when you're not feeling good. Like everything, you know, everything can be a little bit of an excuse to just lash out and to check out from your life, right? The thing that you're here to do. And honestly, it's just too sad. It's too sad. It's not something that it's something that I feel can very easily be remedied, and I want to share with you how. The way that I think about time freedom is about the launch, right? As a business owner, we all put our products and services out there. We can make it easier for us. We can simplify the way that we do our business by following a very simple, clear, and strategic structure, right? That leads us to the desired outcome that we have for ourselves. So if you're seeking to go to the $10,000 level a month, right? Then this system, by putting it together, you can actually amplify where you're at right now, use the things that you already have created, and then amp it up and put it into a structure that works to get you to that 10,000 a lot faster than you would do it on your own. Okay, how does this work? I want to share with you really quickly, my 6 steps that I put together for the launch. And these are the essential steps that you can, no matter what, no matter where you're at in, you know, your business, if you've launched before, if you haven't launched before, whatever the situation may be, these are the 6 steps that you require in order to have a fully functional, highly engaged, and converting launch that brings you consistent income. So let me just share with you real quick. Right, so these are the steps that I put together, and there's 5 steps. Steps 1 through 4 actually are my free gifts. So you can actually go to sassyhope.com if you haven't yet. And step 1 is, you know, doing the lifestyle business, finding out what your lifestyle business type is by doing a quiz. Step 2 is putting, you know, going through the strategy to stop sabotage. So whenever you're feeling, you know, or thinking stories of any kind, that you can actually put yourself through this process that helps you get out of it very quickly, right? Because we all get stopped. We all get stopped somewhere. So this will support you in moving quickly out of it. Then you have step 3, which is a strategy to help you create more time. So you're creating space in your schedule, right? And it helps you to create up to 3 hours every single day if you put your life through it, right? It's a little bit of a filter, so to speak. And then step 4 helps you to create a lifestyle business schedule of how many hours you should be working a week. And it's really, really beautiful. And the process itself can create a lot of space and structure. However, this right here is what is going to give you the juice, okay? Because without all of these, the launch just won't work right. So I want to share with you really quickly the steps, and I want to tell you a little bit of what's in each step so that you understand how, you know, if you are doing launches right now, how you could be doing launches so that it works more effectively for you. And if you're not, then you can actually see what's involved in it. And if this is something that, you know, you are thinking about doing, right, to get yourself to the consistent quick results that you're looking for, then we definitely want to get on the phone, right? So I'll tell you about that in a little bit. So step 5 is creative content. That's where we start, right here. And that one, pretty much, it sets out the foundation. It's more about creating a little bit of, your brand, like what the content is that you're going to be delivering, that is going to be attracting your ideal clients to you. And it's going to create a little bit of a visual response for people, as well as start creating the value, right? So the value that it is that you're going to be providing, that's going to be showing people that they can know, like, and that they can trust you, that you are an authority in your field, and that you can support them in getting the results that they want to get. So we create that strategy together, and it's really awesome because this is one of the pieces of breakthrough, because most people, they don't even think about this in a very strategic way. And I can tell you that even with every single one of my clients that has gone through TFS, they have gotten major breakthroughs in this, and it is one of the pieces of greatest joy for them when they can actually see how they can start serving and creating and giving value away. And this is the value that you give away for free to start attracting and getting people to trust you, because not everything can be behind the curtain, right? Once they opt in, then you give them the world, but that's not always the case. Like, you also have to give a little bit to get them to trust you to begin with, and that's part of the system, and I tell you exactly how to do that. Then you have Easy Tech. So Easy Tech is, putting together technology. It really takes only a few hours to put together the technology for the entire month, right? When you're doing the relaunches. For the first launch, it may take like a full day for you to actually put the entire strategy together. But if you really think about how much time people spend worrying and fidgeting and trying to find out how to make this work and make that work, this by itself, it's worth the entire cost of the launch, believe me. So it makes it worry-free, especially for those of you that don't understand technology, that you don't know how to do it, and you're still doing things by yourself. This can be really, really essential. And it's so easy, and I give templates for everything. So it sets you up so that you can have, you can make it seamless for yourself, really. Then you have the email marketing list, email marketing piece, which is step 7, sorry. And it's the entire strategy for using email, how to use email the most effectively, right? So the people that have signed up for your list, the new subscribers as to the old subscribers, not everybody's treated the same. This is something that people don't understand when they're doing a launch. It's just sort of like throwing everything to their list, and they don't understand there's a subtlety there, and there's a way of putting it together so that every single person gets exactly what it is that they're asking for and that they're needing at that point in time, right? And it's a very, very simple strategy. However, I feel like most people are not even going there because they don't understand how to do it. And this one is a cause for a lot of heartache and a lot of issues for people and frustration. It's almost as much as Easy Tech, because one, most of the time you don't even know what to write in the emails to make them convert really well. A lot of the time people don't even know how to write titles, and that, I share with you the best strategies for all of that, so you don't have to worry. You can just start using what I give you and start putting it together very, very simply. Then you have the marketing calendar, which is the juicy, I would say the kale and green juice, that's what I typically call it, of your sequence. This is what's going to be attracting people to you. This is what's going to be really getting people to know you. This is what's going to be attracting all of those other opportunities that are extras that come from putting together a launch this way. last month alone, I had 5 people ask me to interview me, to be part of the Untitled Summit, to go into launches that were going to be 100,000 people or more. And not all of them worked out, you know, because they weren't my ideal client, or it wasn't a mutually beneficial relationship, which I also teach you about. However, it worked. It was really, really cool that just very seamlessly, very easily, I was just attracting people. And they were just, you know, reaching out because they saw my launch and they saw just how organized and how great it was and how professional. And that is what is going to happen when you actually put a launch together, whether it's my launch, you know, you work with me or not. If you put a professional launch that includes all of these strategies, all of these steps in it, and you're actually working the system, right? Not going outside of it and not trying to make exceptions or whatever, but you're actually going step by step through the system. It works every single time. And I have to tell you, for those of you that have issues with consistency, that you are just going up and down in the income that you're making, this is huge, okay? This can make the biggest impact in your business. So just seamlessly attracting people. And it's just very, 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 very good. So you have the marketing calendar, and that's pretty much, I share with you my social media strategy and how to create posts in a very, very simple, easy way that are rocking and engaging. How to organize your marketing calendar so that you take every single step and you're not fluctuating. So it's not just like going and then not going and then going and then not going, right? And those show up in your bank account, believe me. They show out, it shows up in your income. And then I also share with you the blog and newsletter strategy that I have to make sure that you continue to prove, I don't like saying prove, but it's correct word here, to prove your authority, right? To show that you are an authority and continue to provide value to those people that were on the fence, that maybe for this launch it won't work, but maybe for the next launch they will be ready to buy by then. Believe me. So then we have the sales strategy, which I share with you, and that one is really, really good because not only does it allow you to continue to improve from month to month to month, right? But it also gives you the exact things that you need to do within your sales strategy. So whether it's in the sales conversation or shooting a sales video or writing a sales page or going into the sale in a conversation like this one, right? In an event, in a live event or whatever, then you actually have the best practices and how to put that together so that it converts for you. And then testing and research, which is where you actually going through every single one of the steps and you're actually seeing what's working, what's not working. And I have a very, very specific strategy for that allows you not only to test, but to test ahead of time, right? So not testing what you've already created, but to test ahead, right? So that you see and you are never, ever putting time and energy into something that you don't know that it's going to work to begin with, right? So let me just stop this. And so that is the launch system. It is very simple, just 6 very quick, easy steps. And I share with you exactly what needs to happen in it. And it's exactly what step to take when, and step by step, it pretty much guides you through the entire thing. It's really, I have to say that it's really, really empowering when you get on that end and you're actually able to say, wow, that I know that this is my biggest leak right now for income. The fact that I am not putting this together, I don't have a structure, I don't have a strategy that I'm following. And this is the major reason. I see it over and over why people are just disconnecting from me. The launch keeps people really engaged, really, really connected. I mean, the people that go through time freedom sequence, the TFS, right? They will be able to create time freedom in their online business. They free up at least half of the time that they're spending on their launches, okay? If they are doing launches. If they're not doing launches, they'll never know another way, right? You will never know another way if that's you, right? You will only know the way that works, and you can start fresh from scratch and then build it up and make it better, better, and better until it's going by itself. It's an automation, and every time it's going to be bringing you consistent income. It's awesome. Okay, so you have more time. You have a lot more time. Like, this frees up, like I said, half of the time. More time so that you can spend with your family, or you can actually spend to crank up your business to bring in more income and getting more clients and support even more people until you feel like your business is doing exactly the way that you want it to do. You increase your sales because you will have a solid, I'm telling you, solid system of follow-ups, engagement, and value that you will provide to your prospects, okay, throughout the launch sequence. And that is invaluable to them, invaluable. Okay, they can put together the program by themselves because you can put together your TFS system by yourself. However, if you have support, if you have a VA or an assistant that's there and that's supporting you already, you can actually give the stuff to them. And I will tell you exactly what you need to be doing yourself and the stuff that doesn't need to be done by you. I will tell you exactly what you can give out to someone else to do. Okay, so that said, now comes the invitation that I was telling you about. I have only 5 spots for clients, and I have only 5 spots for calls within my schedule for the following week, for the next week. So I am going to make, with the window here for this program, right? If you are in the Hangout page, I will make my calendar available to you down, so you can just click below and then get access to my calendar and book a time that works for you. Listen, if you have those questions, right? If you don't know exactly how this is going to work for your system, for your business, if you don't know how you're going to really start making the consistent income, if you don't know how you are going to be able to attract more clients, how you can start getting, making more connections, how you can start even attracting speaking opportunities that are just seamless, right? To start putting your work out there to other people very, very seamlessly, right? This is them that you need to get a hold of, okay? So I have 5 spots. I am going to make that available. This launch system is, you're going to be able to make a good amount of money with this if you're implementing it correctly. All of my clients already are getting really, really amazing results. They didn't think that the passion and the love and the service that they would be providing at this level could be possible before. And yet they were able to break through whatever the barriers were and the holdbacks that they had. And now they're already implementing a system that they know will be supporting their clients in a completely huge way. Plus, they're not going in blindly, because every single one of them is going through tests and research that I am telling them to do, so that they know that what they are doing is going to give them income, right? So that said, I definitely want to invite you. I also want to mention that for TFS, there are custom options available. So it's not just one level. I have a few levels of TFS, and you definitely want to get into conversation with me if that is something that interests you. And that is it for this one. I loved being here with you in service. This is what I'm about. I hope that everything that I share with you was able to give you some idea as to where you can start plugging in the time leaks, the leaks that are leading to chaos in your life, in your business right now. And I hope that with that, you will be able to create the lifestyle business and the time freedom that you are desiring. Until next time, bye-bye.